So that's it then. Years of hard work and dedication to the company, and that's all we get. I notice a 1 week and a thank you for your services.
£3. Don't forget the £3.
Oh yes, I mustn't forget the £3 when we just get the sack.
They've been made redundant, not fired.
There's a difference.
Well, yeah. They didn't want to let us go, but they had to. I mean, I know it's tough, but we'll get through it. Okay, so it's not looking good right now for us, but things will pick up. They have to.
And why is that?
Because it always does eventually. And this will be just a blip in the radar in years to come.
How do you know this?
Life has its ups and downs. We just need to look at the positives and move on.
How do you do that?
What?
Be all optimistic like that, all the time. Is it not exhausting?
You mean seeing the good side of things? No, not at all. If anything, I would say being like you is more exhausting.
What's that supposed to mean? Being like me? Huh?
No. You know, being constantly negative. Never seen the glass half full. You've always seen the worst in situations like
losing a job and having no income, possibly not being able to pay next month's rent, and spending ages trying to find a new job.
There you go already. All you see is the worst case scenario. Can you not see the benefits?
I've been made unemployed. Amazingly, no. I'm sure you're going to enlighten me, right?
Well, if I must. So we lose our jobs, but we still have enough income to pay for a couple of months' bills. Meanwhile, we can get a temporary job through an agency to tide us over work-wise. Our mums have promised that they'll help us out with money until we get a new proper job. And we still have time to look for a job online when we're not working. We'll get a job within a month, tops.
That's the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard.
Do you think that's less believable than your scenario?
Yes. For starters, you haven't met my mum. She's not likely to hand out cash so readily. I'd be lucky to prize a fiver from her.
Okay, so parts of it are maybe not so realistic, but the general idea's the same.
Which is?
Situations like this are never as bad as they seem. There's always something good to come from it.
Maybe you're right, but there's bad stuff too. You do realise that, yeah?
Yeah, I suppose.
I mean, it's all well and good thinking everything's going to be okay, but you have to acknowledge that things can go wrong too, otherwise you're just being, well, how can I say this? An idiot.
That's a bit unfair.
Alright, well maybe that was a bit harsh. But at least thinking about the worst case scenario for a second, even if you don't believe it will happen, is an advantage in case things don't go to plan.
Okay. Okay, I see your point. You know what's weird?
What's weird?
Us being friends. I mean, we're really so different. It's not a bad thing. It's really good, actually. I guess we just sort of balance each other out.
You mean how I need you to point out the positive side when I'm being too over the top with my pessimistic attitude?
And I need you to help me acknowledge the things that might go wrong when I'm being too optimistic. What if I gave you a scenario right now and you told me what negative things I should acknowledge? Would you do that?
Yeah, okay, but only if I get to do the same with you. Could probably do with seeing the brighter side of things.
Deal. Okay. So what if a man has just found out he's won the lottery?
This isn't autobiographical, is it?
Don't be ridiculous.
Just checking.
Anyway, he's won the lottery, and very soon after this, his long-term girlfriend announces that she's pregnant. Everything's coming together. He's feeling hopeful and excited for the future. So let's hear it then. What's the worst that could happen?
Okay, well, let's get some details first of all. Does this guy want to get married and have kids?
Yeah.
Okay, so this guy's just won the lottery, but soon his close family and friends will find out. And when they do, they'll be scrounging off more than they've ever done their whole lives. And this girlfriend of his will want the most spectacular wedding because he can afford it.
Yeah, that's to be expected, and he'll do it because he loves her.
Yeah, but does she love him? I mean, notice he's only announced the pregnancy after he's won the lottery.
You can't fake pregnancy.
That's not what I'm getting at. She may have known for weeks but only tells him this now. It's only after he's become a millionaire that she's suddenly excited enough to tell him.
Meaning?
She might just marry him for his money. And he'll find out years later through a bitter divorce battle where he'll lose half his fortune.
And you don't just find this just a little bit over the top?
And of course it's over the top, it's completely unrealistic, but parts of it could happen.
I suppose when you know that money could end up being a bit of a burden when it comes to finding out who truly cares for you.
Exactly. So much happiness that can come from that story, but it can't always be a perfect situation. Right, so now it's your turn. Right, as a man who's just been diagnosed with cancer and he's been given months to live. It's not a real person, it's all made up, don't worry. Anyway, he doesn't have a wife or kids, he's just got a cat for company. He doesn't have what he considers a worthwhile job, he does nothing groundbreaking, just office work. And he's worried that he won't be remembered and won't leave a lasting legacy.
Could you just be a little more depressing?
I thought we were doing extreme scenarios.
Well, you certainly stepped up to the plate. But there's still a lot of positives that you can take from this story.
Really?
Yeah, really. Well, he may start out in denial of his situation, but then once he accepts what's going to happen, he'll be trying to leave a lasting legacy.
And how does he do that?
His family and friends will always remember him. Once he accepts the inevitable, he'll inspire those around him by being brave and accepting his fate with dignity. Just because he never had a wife and children doesn't mean he still won't live through his family. He might not have had the job of his dreams, but he made a living. He had friends, he had a purpose in life. He may not have seen it before, but he'll see it now.
I guess I never really saw it that way before. Probably because it seems so completely insane. So what you're saying is that even the saddest specimen known to man can have a happy ending and leave a legacy comparable to Henry Tudor?
Okay, well maybe we'll agree to disagree on that.
Well, to be fair, I definitely didn't see the story going your way.
Well, I never saw the lottery story going your way either. It's funny how the mind works. You know, I should acknowledge that things could go wrong sometimes.
And I can benefit from thinking more like you and trying to be more positive. Although it probably won't happen. Still won't get me my job back though.
Yeah.